Welcome to Conversations over Cappuccino, and it's a pleasure to be today with Jane Davis at the Green Heron Farm. And Jane is a very special healer, if I could describe you like that, who does some wonderful, wonderful work with horses and healing. And so Jane, welcome
Thank
to Conversations, and just tell us about what you do and your road to...
Yeah, the journey,
Here,
the journey.
This
Marty and I met through social media. I was living, or am living, in Santa Fe, New Mexico, and moving home to Woodstock and Kingston soon. And Marty and I met over Facebook and then met in person and just have a great connection, a new friendship. And I'm honored to be part of his program.
You should be honored. Yes.
I am so honored. I am so honored.
Okay, but
and then you'll be able to see it soon on YouTube.
This is about Jane, so let's get to what you do.
I know, that's so hard for me.
It's very nice
but,
and wonderful, and I'm a wonderful person, so everybody out there know. But just let's get to really what you do and what your work is, specifically with
the horses.
With horses and in general your background, which is fascinating.
The work I'm doing now and what I've been doing here on this trip is my business is called Riders of the Sage, although nobody rides. It's all on the ground. It's equine assisted healing, and a lot of people call it equine assisted therapy. It is therapeutic, but I wanted to break the therapy mold and just call it healing. Because you don't have to have a diagnosis. There doesn't have to be anything wrong. I always ask people, do you have stress in your life? And they laugh, and it's like, then you're my client. And my mission, I did talk therapy as a therapist for 30 years. And I grew up with horses. I adore horses. And about 9 years ago, I found out about equine assisted therapy and was fascinated and started to become certified in different modalities. And then got my first horse, my own. I always took care of other people's horses. And my horse, Snickers, and I have this incredible rapport. And we work with people, whether it's individuals, families, couples. The couples, I have 5 couples who have been married from 18 to 38 years. They have a great relationship, and the first thing they do when they come to Santa Fe is book an appointment with me, and it polishes their communication. Things come up. In one couple that was married for 28 years, the wife shared some things about her sexuality. The husband of 28 years said, "What? I had no idea you had that interest." So things like that happen with the horses. The horses are herd animals, and so I get my cues from the horse. Mm-hmm. And the horse wants to join up with us, but when the horse doesn't join up, it gives me some information about what's going on inside the person. Because the horse, their number one instinct is survival. And the herd, being part of, is part of the survival mechanism. And, one horse is in danger. Two beings together, or 3 is safer for the horse. And horses are prey animals only. They're predator to no one. And that makes the interaction, working with the horse rather than dogs, different. And
so you use this interaction between the people and the horses, as we saw in the shoot, which we will see clipped in here because we did a live demonstration
right.
with the horse. But it's that interaction between the two, each with their own personalities, and also the emotional investment, or the power of the horses, the emotional power of the horses.
Emotional, spiritual power.
Yeah, which is in people, which is which transcends all people. You don't have to be around horses to have these associations. So you, as I saw it in our shoot, you use this kind of emotional differences and interactions between the two to often non-verbally to get people to have sometimes very profound experiences.
Exactly. And it seems that simple. One person, which you is on the shoot that we did, shared how she spent a year going riding to get over a particular fear she had.
Yeah, she had a fear because, an individual in her family was kicked by a horse and got very severely injured.
So the process is, my job is, when I hear something like that, a very specific fear, my mind goes into how can I help the healing of that fear with this person and the horse. So it was very specific in this case. And so I explained that if you just walk up behind a horse, you're going to scare the horse and the horse may kick you. If the horse knows you're there, he's not going to be bothered. And that falls into the prey, because a mountain lion could jump on his back. So if he's surprised by something, he's more apt to kick out. And so it was amazing to help that person actually walk behind the horse. And she also did it blindfolded.
Yes.
I'm very frightened of horses' feet. My uncle had his eye kicked out by a horse, so
that's something I would encourage you to hold on to, because one of the things when people come in here with fear, but they get to move through the fear.
And if they don't want it, they can kick you.
Okay, so it's the fear that comes up.
Oh,
again.
it's.
Yeah.
I spent a year. I've told her riding horses every Sunday, and was as frightened after a year as I was day one.
Penny, are you willing to?
I'm willing.
Okay, that's
If
great.
you kick me in the head, do a good job of it.
Okay.
finish her off.
Is that on your eyes?
Yes.
How's that?
Fine. I have a head like a melon, a Crenshaw.
Okay.
I do.
And
Which side?
this is fine.
Okay. Straight ahead, straight ahead, straight ahead, straight ahead. Turn. Straight ahead. Put your, straight ahead a little bit more. That's my left breast, leave it alone. Not you, the horse. Put your head, that's it. Just feel the horse and get to feel that you've got the horse there. You've got just, yeah. Now move it up. Move it forward a little bit, which is the neck.
This is.
That you're getting toward the neck. Right. Now you're on the neck, almost at the head. And now pat the head back and forth a little bit. The horse is beginning to move. Okay. Okay, now come forward a little bit. Come forward, and you've got the horse's head. Use your hand up, the horse is wanting to nuzzle you. Up to the ear, the horse is gonna nuzzle you. He seems to like chucking the breasts. You got the ear. That's
Trying to
it.
get to the knee.
You want your knee or his knee? That's his eye. Come on down to, oh, he moved away. So now you're right underneath his mouth. Go up to his mouth, that's it. Up to the top of the head, and down to the mouth again. And come around, follow me around to the other side of the head. And up the side of the face. That's it. And down the neck. And up. And now straight ahead from there, a little bit farther down. And now you're down to the top of the leg, the thigh. Go down the leg a little bit. Okay, come on, back up. Now you're at the body. Keep walking ahead and you're at the back. I don't know what the parts of the body are called. You're at the back. The rump. And just keep your hand on his back so he knows that we're there. That's it. Keep your hand on his back. Keep walking, and now you're at the tail, very gently. That's it. Continue around on tail, and you just now rounded the horse. And you've gone full circle around the horse. Okay.
Okay.
You just went full circle
Thank
around
So
the
Penny,
horse.
how was that for you?
Well, because I was in the moment, which is not my forte.
Is that my thing?
It was really, really a good feeling. Thank you. But I trust her that, because she's good with horses and also with people. So
How was that experience for you guys?
I'm shocked that I did it.
I love
I mean,
it.
No.
Yeah.
I don't usually, I don't even
Yeah.
know if I would trust somebody else. So it's
Really?
really
Well,
good
thank
that it was you who was doing it.
Oh.
I mean, not that I don't know you to trust you, but that's truly how fearful I am. And I know Suzanne and,
Because we
well,
don't
you know,
really
at the
know each
park.
other that well.
Yeah, but I
enough-
watch you at the
yeah.
park and I see you with, I've told you this, I think.
Yeah.
So there is a trust.
Bye.
Yeah.
I'm so happy that you had that experience.
Yes,
too.
me too.
Wow.
But I really just want to go up to that horse, Charlie, and put my face on him, just rub him with my face.
Okay, you can do that. Do you want to do that now?
Sure.
Sure.
Feel my nose tickling and tickling. Oh, yeah.
Exactly. But let's just let her have this moment. Penny, do that again. Okay. So come back and share with us.
It just felt exactly how I thought it would feel. This solid, perfect,
That's very
gentle pleasure. Yes.
funny to see they have it.
Could I just ask what motivated that?
Specific.
My face, truly,
Yeah,
it's just,
why did
it's
you
just the
just-
sense that I wanted my face against him. I don't, there's no, maybe in an hour or so I could tell you, but it was strictly a physical, almost a need to do that.
Oh, no.
And literally, I could probably spend hours just standing there rubbing my face against it. It really seemed like a seminal event for me because I've been beyond that in trying to overcome the fear and to just stay there. And today it was eased, and it helped that I did trust somebody, which didn't happen with the riding.
Right.
To go around with me. This is bigger than a whole year's worth of riding, literally. Literally. Knowing that you would never make him do something that would startle me or scare the hell out of me.
And some of these, again, it was a 2-hour workshop, but many people had rather profound emotional connections.
Right. And that's the power
Yeah, and that
of
is
this
the power
work.
of this work.
And I think my work in general, even leading up to, this is like all I want to do now for my last quarter, but it's just so powerful and
It is a
profound
very
that I want to bring people, and not just people who have issues. I mean, I work with addictions, I work with sex addictions, gambling addiction, drug addictions, I work with PTSD, veterans and PTSD, but I also just love the gentleness of helping people come just be with the horse. And that reminds me, I'm also certified in one of my favorites, which is Sungnagi Kichi Okiju, becoming one with the spirit of the horse. It's a Lakota way with the horse. And my mentor, John Eagle Sr., is in North Dakota. And I spend time there on the reservation.
Tell us about some of the experiences you've had in your work previously.
Okay.
That have led to profound changes or experiences for individuals.
Well, with regards to the Riders of the Sage work, by the way, we're on Facebook, so you can find Riders of the Sage on Facebook. You can also find our webpage at ridersofthesage-nm for New Mexico.com. Horses need us to be authentic. And nobody's ever asked me what that means, which I'm glad. And it means being honest, where your insides and your outsides match. So an example is I did work with a veteran who I knew was terrified of horses. So the day that we started working, I was not working with Snickers, I was working with a different horse. He approached the horse with bravado and put his hand on the horse. This horse leaped in the air. Now, she was 30 years old and hardly moved at all. She leaped in the air. So that shows how powerful what I'm talking about is. It was like giving her an electric shock because she sensed that fear inside this veteran. And she leaped in the air and came down, and he like scrambled away, and it really began a great conversation and healing work with him. And also the fact that he had this whole facade on, which everything that happens with the horse is happening with relationships outside, whether personal or professional. So the horses are mirrors to us, and they reflect to us what is really going on. And things do come up, powerful energies. I had worked with someone who was a powerful attorney who was in his head, yak, 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 yak. And the horse, Snickers, stayed away. It was a her, but the horse stayed away from her until the 5th session when this woman shared what she was really feeling in her heart and started crying. And Snickers turned around, came walking over, planted her nose on this woman's heart, and that changed everything from then on. So the healing began at that moment when she got authentic and was able to be strong enough to share from her heart. And I move people from heads to hearts. That's my healing. And the horse is my co-therapist.
Okay, and now you're moving back to Woodstock.
I'm coming home, and this is from Santa Fe. I've been there for 20 years. I feel like Rip Van Winkle. I left here when I was 17. When I was 19, my parents divorced and my mother sold our house. And I didn't realize till this trip how profound a loss that was for me. I knew it was a loss, but not the profoundness, which is I lost my home. And that was a major trauma. And so this time I've been home for 6 weeks. I rented a little apartment. I have my own truck. And it was like I was home again, and gave me the answer to that has been my little hole in my heart, has been the loneliness that didn't make any sense to me, because I have a great life, gazillion friends, wonderful part of the community, and it's time to come home. The mountains are calling me. There's Indian folklore that they always call you back, and there's that point where you listen.